Okay, here we go. Chapter 7, quiz number 1, March 2nd, 2012. That's this Friday. We need to make sure that we are prepared. And we're going to call it quiz number 1 because the sections of the chapter don't quite align perfectly to pull things by section. So we're going to pull it from different parts. So use the study guide, use this podcast so you can know exactly what you need to know for the quiz this Friday. Okay, it's going to start with our vocabulary words. You can see in your study guide there is a section that's titled Vocabulary Words. We're going to begin with heliocentric. It's going to be a model of the solar system in which Earth and the other planets revolve around the sun. This gained wide support when Galileo observed that Venus goes through phases very similar to our moon. Very big at this time. A lot of people were not going to accept what Galileo and Kepler and others were saying. But at the time, Galileo was able to convince them. Geocentric, of course, modeled the universe in which Earth is at the center. And this is important to understand because ancient astronomers believed in geocentric, but obviously scientific knowledge can change. Okay, let's go through some of the parts of our solar system. Asteroid is going to be one of the rocky objects revolving around the sun that are too small and numerous to be considered planets. We have planetesimal, one of the small asteroid-like bodies that form the building blocks of planets. And then we have a planet. This is going to be an object that orbits a star. It is also going to be large enough to become rounded by its own gravity, and those two could describe a lot of things, but the last one there, it does clear its orbit. And those of you that are Pluto depressed, dwarf planet here, that's what Pluto is going to be because it's an object that orbits the sun and is spherical, so far like a planet, but it has not cleared the area of its orbit. So that's going to move it from a planet to a dwarf planet. Next up, going to take a look here at our solar system. Solar system is going to consist of the sun and the planets and other objects that revolve around it. It's going to talk about solar as star, sun, and then the planets, everything. And of course, our star is a ball of hot gas, primarily hydrogen and helium, that undergoes nuclear fusion. So right now we're going to take a look at a very famous part of a movie that goes through and explains this.
Yeah? Ever wonder what those sparkly dots are up there? Pumbaa. I don't wonder. I know. Oh, what are they? They're fireflies. Fireflies that got stuck up in that big bluish black thing. Oh, gee. I always thought they were balls of gas burning billions of miles away. Pumbaa, with you, everything's gas.
Okay, so might be a piece of a movie that you've not seen for a while, but always like the way they put the definition of a star in there. Okay, the figure it out section of your study guide. Which model of the solar system is considered correct? That's going to be geocentric or heliocentric. Of course, geocentric is going to have the movement of the planets around Earth, geo, Earth. Heliocentric is going to be that movement around the sun. Finally, here in your study guide, you have, and on the quiz on Friday, you're going to have to understand and be able to classify the differences between different objects in our solar system. So let's begin here with planets. Planets, of course, are going to be rounded. They're going to orbit the sun and clear out their orbit. We have a planetesimal, which is going to be the building block of a planet. Dwarf planets are going to be rounded, going to orbit the sun but cannot clear their orbit. Stars, as you saw on the Lion King clip, are going to be those burning balls of gas. And then we have galaxies, which are going to include many solar systems. Chapter 7 quiz number 1, March 2nd, 2012, this Friday. Go to My Big Campus. Be prepared.